episode of Blog Talk TV, the social media inspired talk show that features some of the biggest names in blogging.
That's right, we share stories of inspiration and how-to tips to jumpstart your blogging career. And on today's show, we have David Brim from Brand Advance, and he writes at davidbrim.com, and he's going to talk to us all about the business blogging side of things. So we have a lot of personal bloggers, but here's some tips about businesses and if they want to engage in social media. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm excited about today's show. So I'm Bess, your host.
And I'm Ben from OrlandoWaterhole.com.
Hello, Ben, Orlando Waterhole.
And look, we're going to begin with our social media question of the show, shall we?
Yes.
So this one comes to us from Krista Joy.
Wait.
Oh. Okay. Very lackluster. Today's question comes to us from Krista Joy from DisneyWays.com, and she writes, what are some of the best social media shortcuts? TweetDeck and scheduling Facebook posts has changed her life, and she wants to know what are some other things out there.
Sorry, I'm just laughing over my Great Dane attacking a crew member over there.
Do you have any? Nope, I guess not, and we've lost it. I'm the only one talking right now in the program. They're distracted. I'm going to start singing the alphabet.
All right, go ahead. Social media shortcuts.
Shortcuts, things to make things easier.
Yeah.
Clearly, I've got to go first. So,
still distracted by the Great Dane.
I use this plugin for WordPress called WordPress Smush It. So WPSMUSH.IT. And it's good for resizing photographs. So if you upload this giant picture, it's going to consume a lot of bandwidth as your users go to the site. So instead of doing it in advance, you can just upload the picture as regular to WordPress, and it automatically, just through the process, will resize it and make it good for your website so that you don't have to go through that extra step yourself. And that just makes photo editing a whole lot easier for me.
So my shortcut is not really a plugin or a program. Like I know there's Hootsuite, TweetDeck, I think you mentioned those. So did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Krista G.
I was paying attention.
That dog.
So mine is, and actually I consult when I work with some businesses about their social media. Everybody's busy. So when you first create those images, be thinking about the different social media outlets. For example, Instagram, you got to have that square photo. So go ahead and make your photos square to start with.
All across the board.
Yeah, all across the board, and that way you are ready to go ahead and do that. But then you can take that square photo, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter. So you can use it all the way across on Pinterest. So just be thinking about all the social media channels when you create that content in the first place, and that helps cut things down.
And we'd love to hear your tips on expeditiously blogging, some shortcuts there. So submit them to Blog Talk TV on Twitter. So at Blog Talk TV, and we can pass those on and get everybody moving faster than they've ever had to move before.
Really?
That's what shortcuts do. Who knows? Who knows?
So do you have any other shortcuts besides Smush It?
I do like to schedule Facebook posts, and we talked in an earlier show about scheduling Instagram, because that would be really helpful for me, is because Instagram you've got to do in real time, and I would just love to do that. So I'm excited to experiment with that.
Yes, Scheduler was one that we saw for Instagram, but there was some questions about the terms of service from Instagram. Where are you going to get busted for trying to hack your way? You know, some social media is very friendly, like Twitter is very friendly to third parties accessing it, but not all of them. Instagram yet has not really shown that they have been friendly to that. So we'll have to see.
So before David comes, we've got some videos, don't we?
We do. We do have some videos. So take a look at this blogging tip, and we'll be right back with our guest.
Hi guys, it's Katie Widrick from katiewidrick.com, and one of the most common questions I get is, what social media platforms should I be on? Well, I'm going to give you an answer that you might not like, because it's not about driving traffic, it's not about making more money. We're giving you plenty of information about those things. My answer to that question is, well, which ones are the most fun for you to be on? Sure, it's important to look at your traffic. If Facebook and Pinterest do wonders for you and send you a lot of new visitors, then absolutely those are platforms that you should continue to work on. But if you're on Twitter or Instagram or any one of the platforms that's jumping out every single day, and it's not fun and it's not driving traffic, I want to let you off the hook. You don't have to be everything to everyone, because then you're going to be nothing to nobody, right? Find the platforms that make the most sense for you, and then ask yourself, am I enjoying this? Because if you're not, if it feels like a hassle, it's going to kind of come off that way to your readers and followers as well. And if you can better use your time doing the things that you actually enjoy and developing maybe new tools that help you, that's a win-win. So I'm letting you off the hook. If you're not enjoying a social media platform, don't waste your time on it. This is Katie Widrick from katiewidrick.com.
Blog Talk TV is produced by GottaGetBlogging.com, an online community featuring how-to video tutorials on everything from monetization, working with brands, the basics of setting up your first blog, and more. Visit GottaGetBlogging.com to sign up for a free or pro membership today.
So once again, we're here with David Brim at Brand Advance. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So David, you have a personal blog, but then you also help businesses with their social media and their marketing. So tell us, where did you begin your story?
Where did I begin? Well, I came to Orlando and started going to school there, and then when I graduated, I had a tech venture. I launched this tech venture and decided I needed some resources to really help it grow, and created a marketing agency to help support it. Really got enthralled in the blogging world and started following a bunch of different marketing blogs and really starting to understand blogging and understanding different strategies that could be beneficial for companies as well as my own ventures. And then grew from there and started my blog in about 2010. And since then, just been chugging away.
Here you are. Because we focus a lot of bloggers who write personally, but what makes you different is that you help for businesses that want to blog. So are there differences between business blogging and I'm calling it personal blogging? I know that's the right way to go.
There's definitely differences, but at the same time, there are definitely similarities as well. Anytime that you can have a very focused blog and a focused marketing strategy overall, you'll be a lot more successful. If you understand the kinds of people you're looking to get to your blog, or if you're a business, you understand the kind of customers that you want, you can then create the right content or bait to really attract those type of customers. And from there, you can have a lot more success. If you're a business, you'll have higher conversion rates because the content will be a lot more interesting to the audience that you're looking to communicate with. And if you're doing it personally, you'll get a lot more success as well because it is focused. You're breaking through the clutter. You're not just one of the thousands of bloggers that are out there. You're a little bit more positioned in the customer's mind to what you're doing and why they should follow you.
Mm-hmm. So you said a couple of things I want to talk more about. You said bait and you said conversion. So can you tell us what does that mean and how does that apply to a personal blogger?
Sure. So I compare marketing a great deal to fishing. And so if you're fishing, you have a specific type of fish that you're looking to catch, and your chances of catching that fish will go up exponentially if you know where they're at, you know what kind of bait that they're interested in, their feeding habits. And the same is true with marketing, and the same is true, you can compare it to personal blogging as well. So I actually wrote a book called Land More Customers Through Online Marketing, and this book uses a lot of different analogies to teach marketing principles. And so when you ask the question about conversions, that's essentially having the visitor that comes to the site do what you want them to ultimately accomplish. If you're a business, that could be giving you a phone call, it could be filling out a lead capture form or schedule a conversation or consultation, it could be purchasing a product. And those all are essentially the fish that you're wanting to attain to grow your business. And the same, I would say, is true with personal bloggers. It could be subscribing to your email newsletter or something along those lines as well.
Sorry, I'm just having the whole business. You start it, you get the blog online, millions of people start visiting you, and I'm thinking of the old Jaws line, we're going to need a bigger boat.
We're going to need a bigger boat. We're going to need a bigger newsletter.
Tangent. So there we go.
What are some, I guess, I don't want to call them tricks, but ways that you can get more people to subscribe to a newsletter or capture their attention quickly?
Oh, good question. Yeah.
That is a great question. So something simple that I do on my blog is at the bottom of each post, I have a really clear call to action. It's from a plugin called Socialize. And this plugin, it actually puts a box right underneath it, and I have a picture of my book with a clear link or button to purchase the book on Amazon. And then I also have right above it, like what you've read, enter your email here and subscribe to my blog, and that has really improved conversion rates.
And that's called
blogging.
Socialize.
Yes.
Okay, good one.
Why is blogging important for a business in the first place?
And that's a great question. And I want to start off by saying blogging is not right for every single business. Blogging can be used in a lot of different ways, and it's really, there's different strategies that you can use. You can share product updates. You can, if you have a technology company, you can reveal some of the culture that you have to really connect with your various audiences. But what I was mentioning is that there's certain companies that I deal with that are like plastic part manufacturers or rubber manufacturer partners. And again, it's not really, you have to assess the ROI of it, and is it really worth the time, and are the people you're trying to reach, it goes back to the fishing example, right? Are the people you're trying to reach going to be interested in consuming that type of content? And the kind of content that you have to create sometimes to break through the clutter, it is an investment. And sometimes businesses attain customers and their revenue in different ways. But for many different businesses, there is clear benefits to blogging. There's a ton of ways that it can be used.
So are you saying there's not that many blogs about plastic parts?
I haven't come across many of them.
Imagine that.
But
do you have a hard time? So when a business comes to you to engage your services, do you ever have a hard time explaining, yeah, you do need a blog if it makes sense for them? I mean, do you have some that are resistant to that?
Yes, I think the term blog to a lot of companies can be intimidating. But when you actually explain it, like you're creating content, you're having your website updated frequently, then they're more likely to get that. Okay, so you're publishing new pages on your website frequently to attract people to the site. And the more quality content you produce, the more opportunities you have to pull people to your site and ultimately get more customers. So if you explain it like that and put it in a language they can understand, and they have to understand too, it's not an immediate, it's not like paid search where you'll drive traffic through AdWords to a site for the purpose of selling and you have a certain percent that convert. It is an investment, and that investment, it takes time to create that content and share it over time. But if you build that community, there's clear benefits that go along with that.
So creating content is something that I've struggled with in the past. I think all bloggers do, is you get to a point that's, what else can I write about? So do you have any suggestions on how either businesses or how you with your own site have just found new ways to talk about what you always exist for as a business?
That's a good question. For me, I think ideas to create new content really comes from experiences you have on a daily basis, problems you may encounter, conversations that you have, and even just being a consumer of content from other bloggers. Because what will happen is if you're reading one blog post from one of your favorite bloggers or just something you came across on Dig or another social bookmarking site, if you like it, and if there's ideas that maybe you would do a follow-up post on that, you could link back to them and talk about what your take is on the situation or the topic that they brought up. There's also, the world is changing constantly. So the good thing about having a blog is that you can constantly come up with new ideas and content and kind of theme it around what's going on in the world or what people like. One of my favorite posts that I've ever done, and it did really well, it has over 100 LinkedIn shares and tons of shares on Facebook and lots of traffic. It's 7 lessons you could learn from Sun Tzu about strategy. So I took these principles of strategy and marketing and I themed them around lessons that Sun Tzu said. And then I do that a lot with a lot of my posts where I'll have people throughout history that I admire that I will take lessons and principles that are true and kind of theme it around lessons that they said. So it really becomes more digestible. And that's, again, part of actually the inspiration for my book came from a guest post that I wrote on Copyblogger, which is a top marketing blog. And I wrote a post comparing marketing to fishing, and it did really well. And I was like, wow, people really like this concept. I'm going to write a book about it. So
imagine that.
That's what happened.
All right, so I have a question for you. We talked about blogging, but you have advised businesses on all sorts of social media. And a common question we get here on the show is, which social media should we be on? Do you have a standard answer for that for businesses that ask that?
That is a question that I get all the time. And a lot of times it even comes from, I'll be dealing with a company and they'll come to me and they'll say, help me get more followers on Facebook.
Right.
And then I'll look at their audience, because you have to go back to, again, like, who are they targeting? What fish are they really trying to land? And I go to them and I say, you know what? You don't really need to be establishing as much of a presence on Facebook. Maybe you need to be on LinkedIn more, or maybe you should go out to these niche bloggers and engage them because they have an audience that exactly matches who you're trying to reach. And a lot of times when I look at their Facebook, you'll see their friends, their coworkers, and their family are the ones that like their page, and they're saying, we want more people to like it. And it's, you have to have a clear content strategy, and then you have to fish where the fish are. So no, I don't have a specific go-to network that I push them to. It's all dependent on the prospects they're trying to reach and readers that they want, if it's a blog, and figuring out how you can get in front of those people and develop a communication strategy that will work.
It's amazing. It's not that different from what we've been advising personal bloggers to do, so that's funny.
I think we're all guilty of pushing our friends and family to like my page, like my page.
So we'll be right back. We got to take a quick break. We're going to hear from Professor Josh in the Bloggers Lab.
Hi, Professor Josh again, and I have another great app for you. So this time it's an app, but also a web tool. So you're able to use it on both. The app is free, but the service you need to pay for, depending on how much you want. So Animoto is a great way to build slideshows. Animoto gives you the ability to use video, so short 10-second clips, or you can also use photos. So great thing about Animoto is you can grab from all different areas. So on my phone, I can of course grab from my photo library and my camera and take pictures. But also, if you're sitting on the web app, you're able to easily connect to your Facebook, to your Instagram, to Photo Bucket, lots of different places to grab photos from and add them in. It's super easy. You just rearrange them. You choose a style you like. They have tons of different styles depending on the plan you have, and you're able to add words into different parts, highlight ones, find music that they have available for you and choose what one you like or add your own, and then be able to turn it into a slideshow. Really simple and easy. So I definitely recommend checking out Animoto and paying for that service because it makes your life so much easier. For more tips and tricks, check out ProfessorJosh.com, and hopefully you find another great app like Animoto.
David, I want to learn more about the book. How did you go about writing the whole book? I mean, you started with this guest post, but then where did it go from there?
Well, interestingly enough, what happened is I've done a whole lot of consulting on internet marketing over the years. I've worked with over 1,000 companies, consulting them and analyzing what they're doing and giving them tips for improvement. I found myself saying the same things over and over again because there were some fundamental truths and principles that are across multiple industries. And so I basically took a lot of the content that I've used in my consulting work and I themed it around the topics that I used in the guest blog that I wrote on Copyblogger. And from there, I really just started massaging it and working the theme a little bit more, adding more depth to the different given topics. And some of those topics, so fishing where the fish are, understanding the types of prospects, which is a big one. A lot of businesses make this mistake where what they'll do is they'll say, I want more customers, but they don't actually take the time to think about each prospect as an individual and try to profile who are these people, what are their habits, what are their problems, and how can you really create some content that addresses those. And so there's a lot of different topics, partnering up to catch the big fish, what social media strategy will hook your customers, the sea of search engines, casting out optimized pages to attract your customers. So it's pretty.
And was it something that you did like every morning? I'm going to write for an hour. What was the physical part of writing that book?
Oh man.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, that's not a thin book. That's a very substantial book.
It definitely took some time, and I'll say that I did not carve out like a certain time each day, but I really would just go at it on the weekends, like during the day. On the weekend, I'd sacrifice some time then sometimes to do that. And I will say that the last 15 to 20% was the hardest because you have so much in there, but then really just tightening it up was somewhat of a challenge, but got through it.
So I know in addition to being this wonderful marketer, you're a pretty active guy. Grew up playing basketball, getting ready to go snow skiing.
Yes.
I'm jealous. Are you a fisherman?
I am.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
Saltwater, freshwater?
Freshwater primarily, but I'm definitely trying to get more into saltwater.
So this is a bit of my personality. Every time we would fish and I would catch the fish, I always hated holding the fish to take the hook out. It was just slimy. And then if you got the tissue paper with a towel paper, it would be squirm. I was just couldn't do it.
I don't fish, so I cannot relate to that. I'm sorry.
So someone else can take it off the hook. But we're not talking about fishing anymore. We're talking about
Tangent,
social
once
media
again.
tangent. David, what are some pitfalls that business bloggers should avoid?
One of the biggest pitfalls that I see businesses make is that whether it's on social media or on just their blog, they're too promotional. So they'll start promoting their products constantly. And it's okay to do a post every once in a while. We have a new product release coming, or this new product is available here now. But you really should think about the visitor and really try to add value to the visitor. And whether it's educating them, whether it's entertaining them, these types of things that can really be of value. So not being as much value driven is the biggest mistake I see companies make. They just contribute to the noise. They'll post commodity content. They might copy an article from somewhere else completely and just throw it out there. Well, you should try to seek to add value and create something unique and that's actually beneficial to the audience you're looking to reach.
So, David, we're getting ready to switch to show and tell, but before we do so, where can people find you online?
At David Brim is my handle on Twitter and all the other social media, all the major networks, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then I blog at davidbrim.com, and that's filled to the brim.
Excellent. And then brandadvancement.com?
Brandadvance.net is my marketing agency's website.
Very cool, very cool.
All right, it's time to close the show with show and tell.
Oh,
we didn't prep them in advance. Well done. So we always share favorite blog posts, tech gear, things that you should know about. If you've got a suggestion, email us to info@gottagetblogging.com. So we've got some good stuff today.
Yeah, I actually don't have anything to share. I thought I'd let it go.
We've got
As you're
some good
both
stuff
looking at me, I'm just going to hand it right over to you.
Yes, it's actually right behind you. This is an iRig microphone.
Yep.
I think Professor Josh showed one that plugs into the phone. This one plugs in underneath the bottom here, right? And it's great because you can do it for video, right? So I can film you recording, so you can do like a microphone like that, like a news reporter on the spot. And also for podcasting, you can be remote, and there's a whole app that comes with it, and you can just record right from the phone. So iRig.
iRig there. Yeah. So we actually use iRig with Florida Swim Network. We actually went through the testing process of trying several different brands, and iRig seemed to work the best with iPhone and tablets.
Yeah. So
great brand.
that's what I've got. It was, I forget how much it cost.
Ours was about $75,
yeah, it was
I think.
less than
lasts
$100.
forever.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's what I suggest.
All right, so show and tell, what do you have for us? You were mentioning some...
Absolutely. One of the things that I want to bring up is a lot of bloggers ask me about monetizing their blog.
Yep.
And so I wrote a post on my blog that talks about different ways that you can monetize your blog and also just make money online. You can use blogging tools, even not necessarily just for blogging, but platforms like WordPress you can use to create great sites that could be paid directory sites and things of that nature. But I would reference there's a link on my blog post.
And we'll make sure we
or
put a
my blog
screenshot up of it.
that has a number of suggested ways that you can monetize your blog, including networks like IZEA, which connect brands to bloggers, and they'll pay you per post that you make. There's AdSense, it talks about that. It talks about display network advertising and how to integrate it into your blog. So it's a pretty thorough how-to post of the different ways you can make money online.
Okay, so from the brand point of view, do you recommend brands team with companies like IZEA and others to do blogger outreach? Is that part of the strategies that you've suggested to them?
Absolutely. It depends on the company and who their audience is. We recently did an outreach for a client for niche woodworking bloggers that...
I'm sorry, for what?
Niche woodworking bloggers, like woodworking bloggers that deal with woodworking, manufacturing. They post about just
Carving
making things
wood?
out of wood, essentially, whether it's
This is a whole new world for you that you're discovering.
But interestingly,
Wait. There are bloggers that blog about that? No,
Absolutely.
Don't mean any
There's
offense
a
to you
pretty-
bloggers. I'm probably going to get floor. I've just never seen. I've seen DIY.
there's DIY, and then there's also people who actually do woodworking, and they
I'm
have
going
pretty
to
popular.
be looking these up.
So
That's
we
very
did an
cool.
outreach for one of our clients, Microjig, whose product just got into Lowe's, and we outreached and engaged these bloggers to do sponsored review posts, and basically we sent them the product. They could write about it and use it, and they showed the project or the product in action for specific projects. So
Woodworking bloggers.
All right, well, that wraps up our show on that
Don't
particular
tweet me
note.
nasty things, woodworking bloggers.
Bess, where can we find you online?
You can find me. Oh, I don't want to give my Twitter now. You guys are gonna. No, I'm just gonna.
All the woodworking bloggers.
So at Bess_hour on Twitter. You can find me at gottagetblogging.com.
And I'm at OrlandoWaterhole.com. You can subscribe on Instagram and Twitter and iTunes. And
And
David,
once
one
again-
last time.
At David Brim. And my blog is davidbrim.com, and that's filled to the brim.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, even you woodworking bloggers out there. So we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Woodworking bloggers.
I'm going to have to
yes.
look some up. That
That
is
was
awesome.